Hello everybody, I'm John Evans and you're watching another episode of Mid-Mod Money, the show that teaches you how to buy and sell vintage items for a profit. Thanks for watching. Happy Monday. We're happy to have you here. You're going to see some incredible vintage treasure on this show. Things like this three-dimensional covered bridge. This is kind of a weird one because I think people who like covered bridges don't necessarily want the tackiness of a three-dimensional picture, and I think people who like 3D pictures want something more exciting than your run-of-the-mill covered bridge. This was $3 at my local Goodwill. It's worth about 18 to 20 bucks, but keep an eye out for the Poodle 3D because they sell for around 50 bucks. Before we get started, let's remind everyone to hit that like button, Hit the like button, and also while we're doing that, you want to subscribe to the show because, as you know, it's the first Monday of the month. That's our free vintage giveaway. Every first Monday of the month, we give away a free vintage treasure, and all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on this very video. We'll pick a subscriber next week, and this week's free vintage giveaway is a doozy, so you want to stick around for the end of this episode. I'll show you what it is, and remember to comment. So let's get to this thrift store haul, shall we? And it starts off kind of a name recognition piece here. This, I don't know, standard little gold tray, gold painted tray. But if you'll notice right there, I don't know if you can see it, the name Georges Briard. Georges Briard, he designed a lot of things in the 60s and 70s. Ice buckets, cheese trays, all kinds of kitchen-y type stuff, and also designer, just basic home stuff. This was $1.25. It's probably worth 15, 16 bucks. So I grabbed it. The person who originally sold it wanted $3 for it. Maybe at a garage sale they didn't get the $3. Next thing I found, and this one is exciting. This incredible creamer pitcher, kind of big for a creamer, but you'll notice this design is very, very kind of Art Deco. On the bottom here, there is a stamp that says Czechoslovakia. So it is Czech. It is a Czech bisque. It's kind of lighter than a regular ceramic. It's kind of that bisque, which leads me to believe this could be true Art Deco, 30s, 40s. Hard to say. Feels kind of Bauhaus. If you don't know what the Bauhaus movement was, you want to check that out, where they combined art and functionality back in the day, in the 30s and into the 40s. Really nice picture. This was $2 from my Goodwill, and I didn't see a lot of examples of this exact one. I'm going to say this is probably worth between 30 and 40 bucks because of this cool Art Deco design on a Czechoslovakian creamer. Next thing I found at Christian Crossing thrift store, that is in Oakland, Maryland. I found a set of these. It says Arte on there, and these, they're very artsy. They're these wooden tray with wooden cups. These are made in Ecuador, of all places. That's Arte, says Ecuador on the bottom. Without even knowing them, I picked these up. I'd never heard of this company, didn't know what they were, but I'm going to tell you right now, sets like this sell pretty well, especially when they're hand carved like this. They have little feet on the bottom. I'm probably going to get about 26 to 28 dollars. If they survive, I'll get 26 to 28 dollars off of the Ecuadorian cups. All right, next thing I found, and this is nice. I found this at City Mission Thrift Store. Oh boy. Okay, so here's the story. First time I go in there, this is nestled in their Christmas tree. This is about a month ago. I walked over to it because I liked how stylized the Virgin Mary was and all that. So I pick it up, I turn it over, and I see a $24.99 price tag. And I could not put it back fast enough. Well, a few weeks ago, I'm back there, same thrift store, City Mission Thrift in Uniontown, PA. And again, still there, obviously. And I turn it over, and it was the tag of the day, half price. So I didn't like it at $24.99. I liked it at $12. So I paid half price. I got this for 12 bucks. I think it's worth about 38 to 40 bucks. Very cool Virgin Mary. I love the way she looks. Very stylized and 60s looking. I dig it. Religious stuff sells. Next thing I found at Goodwill, my Goodwill in Oakland, Maryland, I found this incredible handmade glass pitcher. Now, something can be handmade and come from a mold. I think this was maybe put in a mold because there's definitely a seam that runs along there, but this is clearly a hand-blown handle, so it's kind of a combo. Hard to say where this came from. I was hoping it was Blinko. I couldn't really find any Blinko examples like this, but even without knowing who made it, I mean, there's a ton of glass manufacturers around me. Westmoreland Glass is another, but I think this is probably worth about 35 bucks. Again, without knowing where it came from or what exactly it is. Next thing I found at my local Goodwill, I wore my Seashell art shirt in honor of this bad boy, this waterfall. I wouldn't call it a wind chime. I mean, it's just decorative. This was $5 from my Goodwill, and it definitely has that waterfall, super long. And these really sell very well. Every seashell wall hanging or, you know, decorative hanger I've ever had has sold real. I've had plant holders. I've had just ones for pure decoration. This one's great because it does have that kind of swirl. This was $5. Holy smokes. I think I would probably get 40 bucks for this particular handmade seashell art hanging. Do not sleep on the seashell art, ever. It sells. Next thing I found at Christian Crossing. I don't see these very often, but when I do, I grab them. This is a yarn art, still in the bag, still with all the various colors, for $1.50. These things go for 20 to 30 bucks on eBay if they're like this, if they're big and they have great color and they're real 70s. And this is the genuine article because, as you can see, the artwork's very 70s. There is no barcode on there. So if you're wondering if something is old, if when it was brand new, there was no barcode, chances are it's pre-1980 and a very cool older piece. Look at that. I don't know if we're going to sell this or if my fiance is going to attempt to maybe make it. We don't know yet, but we're going to see. And for $1.50, I'm in. I'm calling that $25. All right, we're down to our last item, and then we'll see what you can win for free, courtesy of Mid-Mod Money. I found this also at Goodwill, and this is heavy. Oh, I found a few of these in my day, but this one's real nice. These kind of industrial, heavy base, industrial lamps. This is what they call articulating because it moves in a couple of different directions. Super cool lamp, really, really heavy metal base. You've got the on and off thing right there, and it does work. This one has a little bit of paint loss right there, and we will probably touch that up with some black paint before we put this in our booth. But this was $8, so they kind of knew what they had with this. I mean, it's a monstrously heavy, really industrialized looking lamp. Very cool. I'm going to ask $50 for this in my booth at the Antique Mall. You wouldn't want to ship this. The base alone weighs about 10 pounds. So, that's what we have. So let's look at everything. I spent $40.75. $40.75 on everything you've seen. When it's all said and done, through my booths, mostly, maybe some eBay, I'm looking at $296 off of $40.75. You can do it too. Keep watching my program, Mid-Mod Money, and let's get to your free giveaway. Now, a few weeks ago, thank you for watching, by the way. A few weeks ago, I had an item on here that a lot of people commented that they really liked it. And since it's the beginning of 2025, and I didn't really give away anything for Christmas, I'm going to give this away to one lucky commenter who is also a subscriber. Very important. I'm giving this away. So next week we'll draw a name, and the winner will have a chance to win this incredible brass decorative peacock. Great color, very old, real brass. Just a very cool piece. I love the way it looks. Peacocks are really, I don't know, 60s, 70s to me. I pick up any peacock I find. This is a cool, cool piece. And let's give it away. So thanks for watching. Hit those thrift stores. Good luck in 2025. And don't forget, always round up.